Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Mandibles for another hunt of the DLC animals. Let's open up that menu. Okay, so what do we want to go after today? Well, you know what? Oh, I do have the railgun unlocked, but I don't have enough points to really have a lot of fun with it. So what we'll probably do instead is take out the hole puncher. And maybe we'll do double ammo, because that's always fun. I do want to show off... we could almost go for more of those, but I'm kind of tempted to show off the P.Rex, a lot of the guys that we haven't seen before. And actually, we could do a little bit in the Fallen Jungle, because we haven't actually hunted too much on the jungle map. We've done quite a bit in Gates of Dawn, a lot in Mirkmore, because just... you have fun slaying. If you say it out loud, it's Mirkmore. I don't know, it just kind of rolls off the tongue. It's one of those fun things to say with an accent. The Fluvius Veterum, though we have had some kind of flora issues where it pops in and out, so I don't want to show that off too much. But I think it is good we can kind of progress to whatever lies in store in the Fallen Jungle and go through that pretty unique map, because it's a map you don't really see a lot of in Carnivores, where it's that real mix of different biome. I shouldn't say biomes, because it's all one general biome, but more terrain-wise, because you have super steep areas, and you have that kind of decrepit village, and then the marshland on the very south. It's just a lot of variety in one area, in one map, so everything's looking pretty good. I think we're all good. Let's go into our brand new hunt. Okay, we're all loaded up here, and oh, well, hello. I already see... already got our first trophy animal. Kind of spooked everything else out of here, but you know what? That's okay. We had a Stenodictia right there for the taking, so we'll take it. And I am very glad to see that the DLC video was very well received on the channel as well. As a lot of the comments did really enjoy it and like to see more and just have the increased variety to what I did for it. And also, I think it's nice to be able to show off the animals with more detail to them, like the compound eyes for the Stenodictia, and I don't know if those would actually be more eyes on top of its head or not. I don't think so. They might be some kind of sensory receptors, but kind of hard to say. Anyway, we are actually in a pretty good hunting spot. We are to the very south of the kind of sealed off village area. So we do have a nice kind of flatland area for most of around us. So that'll give us plenty of good vantage points to try viewing and finding out some of the other DLC animals that are out there. So we still have a number that I haven't been able to show off quite yet. Actually, let me open up my little black book of hunting. Actually, more like little black book of channel ideas and info. Not the bit rates for encoding. There we go, next page. So we still have to see the... oh lord. Ceraslepidopteron. I think I said that right. Or Mothra, the Evil Weevil Euparis. And we still have to find the note, the Gerlinura. I don't know exactly where we'll find those, but I think they'll be pretty distinct and standout things as we come across them. And if anybody is thinking about trying out the Carnivores as a series and with mods or anything like that, and they're not sure where to start, I honestly might recommend to you Mandibles. The reason for that is because a lot of things actually make it rather beginner-friendly. Most of the animals are all sort of, I guess, blockier, and it's a little easier to get an idea of where to aim on them. Like if you compare Macrocana, Yoprotura, Holcorobus, a lot of these animals are more larger in size, and hence you have a bigger target to be shooting at. They also don't have anything like super erratic movement patterns aside from the Macrocana. So it does give you something a little bit where you can kind of... oh, hello, there's another Stenodictia. Oh. Should be able to use the hole puncher to get that one as well. And I don't see anything else off to the side. I thought I just saw a little flash of red there. Maybe not. Oh, no, we want the hole puncher. There we go. Now, I'm kind of torn. In Carnivores, I feel like I like having the rifle and that just because of the way some of the weapon spread is, but if I were to be more modern hunting games where you have a lot of different options like rifles, bows, shotguns, I don't think I'd rifle hunt that much, just because it almost feels a little too easy in a way. Like, you can just spot it from afar, line it up in the sight, shoot, and you got it. Like, in some games it does work, but when I get into some really more in-depth hunting sims, like the Hunter Call of the Wild, the Hunter Classic, I do like using a bow and arrow more, or crossbow more, just because it feels like there's a little bit more of a challenge where you actually have to stalk in close and get near or call them to you. A little bit more to it, and then you have to have a little more skill in aiming. It's not just line up the crosshairs and got them. That's just how I feel. I think maybe after you've played a hunting game for so long, you may start feeling that as well, as you want a little bit more of a challenge. It's kind of hard to say. I think it's more personal taste, and I'm just an archery nut. I have no problem admitting that. Archery, if I could, I would every day do a little bit of archery shooting, but kinda geographically limited in that at the moment. That is something down the line I'd love to get. It's a nice place with a wide backyard, just be able to head out, have a few targets, and just do random shooting, whether it's target or just trying some weird techniques out. Just have some fun with it. I think one of the big things, well, I guess I am going on a little bit of a rant, but hey, it doesn't hurt since we are just kind of walking around trying to find anything we can. The best way to figure out if you like something or not is to actually do it yourself. Like, a prime example is if any of you guys are, maybe you're younger and you want to try cooking or something, honestly try. Ask your parents, oh, an Adalia. Oh, one running off, but like, ask your parents, or if you are on your own and you're not sure about a hobby or something, try picking up a little DIY kit and just try doing it. That's the biggest thing that I think is really underrepresented these days, is the education to encourage you to try and do something. Like, if I talk to my folks, or my old man, who's 59, I believe. I believe it's 59, but or it might be 58. I can't remember which one, but if I talk to him, he would tell you that his education, like in elementary school, they actually had like woodshop classes and stuff like that. Things to actually get you hands-on and doing it yourself, to actually get you to try and learn and see that early. But that's gone now. You're lucky to hit woodworking in high school, I imagine. I'm sure there are high schools where they don't even have anything like that, so you don't really get a chance to know if that's what you want to do or not. And I think that's pretty sad for how things have kind of... Oh. There we go. I thought you would be coming back around to us. So there's another little Adalia down. And it is basically just an angry ladybug running around. Do be careful though, because if they do get close to you, it can be a little weird trying to figure out their hit boxes and whether they will actually get you or not. Okay, well, you know what, maybe what we will do is we'll circle back along the southern rim there and then use that little kind of like labyrinth passageway through to get to the village. I don't, actually no, we've done the village a couple of times. Maybe what we'll do actually is, okay, follow the little bottom of the village there, and you can kind of see the squiggles that are where the labyrinth is. We'll go straight south and hunt in that kind of marshy area where you see all those little coves and inlets there. We haven't really done anything in that region, so that might be interesting to try just scouting out and see what we can find there. So make that the next target and resume to our rant. And just encourage you guys to try it yourself. That's how I became an archery nut. I can't say I was really too focused or even honed in on it until elementary school. I got a chance to go on, I called them electives, but it's basically like little field trips to a certain place. There was an archery club 10, 15 minutes out of town that we got to go to and actually hold a bow, shoot everything with it, and I just fell in love with it because it just clicked for me as something I really like to do. If you ever get a chance, I'd recommend to try shooting a bow too. Oh, is that one of our? That might be one of our Synodictia we took down. Because there's something really engaging with it when you feel it. Feeling the not restriction, the resistance of the string as you try and draw it back, having both hands occupied, using so much of your senses, like, You touch to feel and know how far back it is, lining up where your anchor point is, eyeing where you're trying to aim for. It just was really engaging. And that's how it hooked me. And as you guys have probably seen if you've watched a lot of my series of survival stuff, is I always aim for a bow and arrow as soon as I can, or try going that route if possible. So that's honestly my advice, is if you are curious and you're not, and you want to kind of wonder and ponder what it's like, find a way to do it yourself. Even if it's something where you just kind of like look online and do it yourself little things or makeshift stuff. You never know what you'll like until you actually get a chance to be doing it yourself, hands-on. I mean, that's even an example I can bring to you guys for the Carnivore series. You guys aren't maybe not sure if you do want to try out the mods and games yourself. This might spike your curiosity, my recommendation. It's not going to cost you anything, just to use one of the download links or one of the videos that Sorry and Target or a lot of the other Carnivores YouTubers do. Try out the mod for a little bit and see what you think. It's amazing how much you can kind of discover if you're actually allowed to do it yourself. And I feel like it's just a shame that that's something that's not quite as heavily emphasized or encouraged anymore. And where that came from, well, I actually can sort of track this line of thought this time. I started talking about the rifle, going to bow hunting, which then led into oldest, so we'll put that rant aside because I think that's actually been my most cohesive little talk I've ever had on the channel so far, and focus back onto hunting. I don't think I want to call anything, though, just because... Oh, what do we got there? Oh, no, that's the other Stenodictia. Well, we've gotten back and traced our little steps from where we started. The wind ambient is looping pretty heavily, though. We may have to go a little bit more, maybe more inland, but then that kind of takes us away from where I want to try scouting and hunting next. Let me go through. I think you are supposed to be what the nope is. So let's find that. No reply. And again, the DLC animals are, I'd probably say, 75 to 80% done. It's just more the technical aspects, such as changing the calls, the menu pictures, menu icons, things like that to come. All the animations and the models and that are all currently in-game, so you can go try and hunt them out. It's just that it does help to remember that they are replaced as you maybe go through calls trying to find them. Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe it just has to be the Fluvius Veterum map or something like that, because, like, we have not had any load issues like we did on Veterum in any of the other maps, really. Like, we have a little bit of, I guess, adjustments as we get into certain render ranges, but nothing like it's flopping completely out of sight or into sight. It's kind of bizarre. Okay, but we are coming up into the marshlands, and this might actually not be good hole puncher territory. Pretty dense foliage, very hilly. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to see anything coming. Okay, that must have just been an ambient wind sound. It almost sounded like a wing beat. Oh. Okay, so now we're into the marsh area, so at least we got a little break from the wind. I might actually keep the double barrel at the ready, just because it's much different terrain than we're used to, or we usually hunt with. Because we usually like nice, wide open areas with a lot of visibility and a lot of range you can see off for. This, though, is going to probably be pretty close quarters. Oh, there is something up there. Oh, looks like a permaphasma. That'd be a nice one to get, but it's going to be tricky with how the terrain is, because we need to get the 3 shots off. The good news, though, is that we actually have it so that way it's in a position where the wind won't be much of an issue. Okay, I think we got at least one shot off, but I could be mistaken. It's sometimes hard to tell because of where the... You generally get a little bit of like a blood spray for where the hit is. But I didn't really see anything on those few shots. I know the first one... Okay, the first one at least connected. We know that. I don't know about the second one, though. I'm inclined to think it didn't. Just want to take a little look around. Okay, looks like we're okay. Oh, come on. We can get out of this. Okay, so there we go. We got the blood trail. Yeah, something is the AI seems to only cross water when it's super necessary. So if there's more land routes, it will kind of work its way back and forth along the land. I'm not expecting us to actually be up close with it. I'm just having the shotgun out because this area is so densely... Oh, yeah, there it is. I think it may have seen us, but I don't know for sure. Oh, no, we don't want to aim for the Diplocalus. We're just looking for... There we go. Okay, so it wasn't exactly the cleanest takedown of that permaphasma, but we did manage to get it. I know a few shots from our... Uh-oh. Did we accidentally take down the Diplocalus? We may have accidentally taken down a Diplocalus. We have the tranquilizers on, but yeah, I think... Actually, I'm not sure. How did we get you? Okay, the good news is we hear him breathing, though, so he's just asleep. Or she, or it is. I really don't know how one of our shots got you, unless maybe we shot through the legs of the permaphasma. But that, I think, was a rather successful trip to the Fallen Jungle. Points are getting up there, so... We may actually... How are we doing time? You know what, maybe we will end this little hunt here, just because it has been pretty successful. We are getting more points, so we're getting stuff like the railgun I do want to try out. The minigun we'll be able to start using again, and we may even start getting more of the higher point animals, because we were at 546 or something like that before this hunt. So we'll return to the menu and see how we're doing from there. Okay, we're back in the menu, and yeah, we actually got enough points to go to the Hive next episode. That's that's really interesting. Now, if we did Gates of Dawn and we did the railgun, we do have a few things we could try going after, but not a lot, so we probably won't do that. But yeah, I think what we'll probably do is go for something like that, because that way we can check out, see what the Hive is, because I've heard a lot of praise for the Hive as a map. We have yet to see exactly what it entails, but I'm looking forward to it. So maybe that's what we'll do next episode. But for now, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on another episode of Mandibles. If you do like the series, be sure to leave a like or comment down below. I'm always open for feedback and be able to include you guys in the series. And maybe think about subscribing if you haven't already. We're slowly working our way up to that 100 subscriber milestone. We're in the last 10 before we hit it. So we're really hoping to try to get that soon enough to get our own custom URL on YouTube and just keep growing out. Until I see you all in the next episode, those survivors, please remember as always to take care and stay alive.